Awesome. So our next great profit's here. So in this case, we've got it enhanced. And I'm going to say don't worry about converting these cities. They should do it naturally anyway. But now we need to decide what are we going to build. So let's just put it here so we can look at it. So what does it do? Currently, we still lose the food because this improvement's gone. But 10 faith and 2 production. Now this won't be forever. See, we need to get this to be done. Because you get +1 food, 3 culture. So instead, this will be +2 production, +10 faith, and +3 culture. Which is really good. But for now, it may not be. Maybe better go right here. But if you go here, there's no way this is going to be worked. Instead, a better choice is probably right here. Alright, so let's see why this works. So this gives us 1 production, 10 faith. So now there's a 1 food, 4 production, 10 faith tile. Eventually it'll add another food, 3 culture. So that's a really good spot. Alright. Oh yeah, and you get +3 gold on all these sites too. How could I forget that? So at this point, you can go get acoustics if you want more culture. Because that's a good one. But education for science, or getting a workshop. So we managed to get the Hagia Sophia, which allows us to get another one of these before it gets too late. So now it's about deciding where do I want to go. Here isn't bad. Here is bad. Here's probably good. Oh, and we got one built naturally. So we got one there. Might be a good idea to go build one over here. But no, we'll go. We'll get this one built. Now we can finally get Theocracy. Theocracy is going to give us 3 gold from each holy site and 1 from each shrine temple. Plus, when we get the Grand Temple, 33% gold by that city. So yeah. So we're gonna go from -5 just to +14. So that's a 19 gold turn already. That's huge. And that benefit will only get better. And see, yet another great profit has arrived. So they're starting to come out fairly quickly. See, this one's good. See, we're already getting, we're getting +5 gold from this. +3 production, only getting 1 food for now. But we'll get back up to 2. Time for that Grand Temple. Grand Temple really boosts you. So if you can get Machu Picchu, if you think you can get it, at this point in time, I'd go for it. Now they're at the point we are now. It's about turn 100. That's a good point too. We're heading towards mid-game. We need to consider a strategy. We need to decide, do we build another city? 5 cities can help this build, but don't push it if it seems like too much of a risk. Or if you don't have any good spots. So we're getting our last one. It's going to give us more science, which is good because we're pretty low. And it's going to, allow for this. It's going to give us 2 production for the Grand Temple. But every holy site can plus 1 food and 3 culture. So, 44 culture turn. Up to already 58. And it gives you another great profit. So you can make this capital pretty strong at this point. Purchasing cargo ships is also something I think is worth it. Because they do require a decent bit of production. Alright, now I'm going to show you a trick. And this doesn't really work unless you're playing against the AI. So, make sure you only purchase these guys in cities that are your religion. That is important. And so the idea is, if you put one of these guys in every city, the AI will not convert you. I don't know if it prevents people from converting at all, or the AI just ignores it. It's one or the other. And when you get a spy, it's probably good. You can use them on text deals, which is probably a really good idea. You could also consider these guys. Now, there's a reason you consider city-states. Ones like Leventa, which are religious. Let's see. It increases your faith, but I don't know if it says by how much. All you know is you're going to get religious bonuses. And you're going to get luxury resources. So religious is good. Maritime is good. Because it gives you capital, food in your capital. When you're friends. Then all your cities with allies. And another that can be important is mercantile. See, mercantile give you happiness. Happiness can be good. So it's like, what do you want? Do you want tech? Do you want happiness? Do you want food? Or do you want just more faith? But if you're playing competitive matches, I would recommend going for the tech. Because you're probably going to be behind. And then policy time. So you can decide. This is going to make wonders faster. But it's going to give you +1 happiness for every 10 citizens. That's a good one. And this will make your city better, but it's kind of meh. Then landed elite. At this point, you probably could stop. Unless you really want land elite. These two are not that necessary. Although this will give you happiness for big cities. Kind of want to get this. Because let's get Big Ben. A great merchant. You want Big Ben? I believe Big Ben is good. I have to make sure. It makes you great merchants better. You want great merchants. So Silk Road's good because culture for markets. Mercenary armies kind of blah. Because it becomes out of date. But you can still do it. And then this is a great one. Like more trade routes and less maintenance. So you got to think, do you want to go for this now? And you do want great merchants. Because we want custom houses. I would say at this moment, I would probably get landed elite and then commerce. Alright, now it's probably time for commerce. Gives you those great merchants faster. So when it comes to specialists, what do we want? Simple, really. You want market and bank. Those are important ones. Oh, our first great merchant. These guys are the key to our continued money growth. And you gotta decide where to put these guys as well. So what this is gonna allow is when it's done. Is it when it's done? No, it's not that. One of these is great. It's protectionism. So you get 1 food and 4 gold for every customs house. Granted, you need a lot of these guys to get that. So you better start making your way. Okay, here's a big thing that I wasn't doing. That if you're smart, you will be doing. You need to be exploring the world. Because you need to know all the city-states. It's crucial. Now, this is a good one. Maintenance on buildings by 25%, 2 trade routes, and maintenance on rail and road by 50%. So we're getting what? 264 in a golden age. To 326 in a golden age. Okay, now we're to the World Congress. City-states are going to become important soon. If we want to be able to win. So we need to start making a push towards the end. Obviously, we don't have enough money at this point. And at this point, it's probably quite important to start saving. But I'd get your ideology first. Alright. It's new policy time. So now, you gotta decide your ideology. So, this is gonna be the last part. Because after this, you just need to push for more gold. Finish these guys out. The one that makes these guys better, protectionism. And then, get as many of these placed down as well as more great profits. Which, oh, and this is something important. So you know my Inquisitor trick. I just realized the problem that I forgot to mention. So, when every city has got a religious unit in it, like now, you can't get great profits. Because there's nowhere for them to spawn in the cities, and they won't spawn next to it. So, maybe you should keep one just next to your capital. Just like that. So great profits will now start to spawn again. So I'm going to go over each of these and decide which is best. Alright. So ultimately, order is not useful for this. So it comes to freedom or autocracy. Autocracy is good because it can get you tech. Because it double the rate of stealing. And you get more spies. But ultimately, I think freedom's overall more useful. The reasons are, your specialists get better with civil society and capitalism. But biggest thing is economic union. But universal suffrage is also great as well. Trade missions and gold gives provide 50% more influence. So if you are going freedom, what is the order I would get this in? Well, if you can get a lot of city-state traders, free trade would be the first one I'd get. It's great. But in our case, we can't do that. It's not always for every situation. Release of democracy is actually really good. Holy shit. It's passive. So I would probably get civil society and then voice of democracy. That would be my first thing, then you get a level 2. First level 2 I would get. I'd probably get economic union first. Unless you think you're a long way away. If you think you can get it quickly, this is the one I'd go for. If not, universal suffrage. So you get this. Then you gotta get another one of these. Again, free trade is good. If you got a decent amount of world wonders, avant-garde. But it might be hard. But I would say most likely their finest hour is probably pretty good. Although universal healthcare if you need help. If you need happiness. So it's one of those two. And then you can get universal suffrage. And then after that you can get one of these. Treaty organization if you can get it. And obviously better specialists again. Because if you get all specialists, great. But freedom is certainly probably your best choice. Most of the time. So, I'm gonna go... Yeah, I said I would go with this one. So, society. So, recap. Tradition opener, then the Piety opener, then these two. Well, at least then this. No. Well, you know, just get Piety. You saw the order I did it. I don't remember. But you need to get Reformation quickly, get your religion quickly, and get up there. If you were to keep going on this, well, one other thing you need to do actually before that, make sure you explore the world like I did, because it's going to be a lot harder to win without knowing all the city-states. Because obviously we're doing a gold game. Diplomatic victory. So yeah, I'd say get this, but you need to get protectionism. Protectionism is so good. This one you can even avoid if you wanted to, for a while. But get that. Get these guys, these two. And then you're pretty well off. You guys are watch that guide. Thank you for watching. And I will see you in maybe another guide.